Morning, everyone. It's Tasha here with Tasha Talks to Teens, and I wanted to offer a piece of a poem that I wrote last week as a way to introduce today's topic around self-compassion. So self-compassion looks like the wiping of the tears off of a friend's cheek, and it feels like opening up your arms to scoop up the little girl within you, to hold her tightly to your chest when she's fearful and sad. And it sounds like the wisdom in your heart whispering, I love you. Self-compassion is often misunderstood and quickly dismissed because it seems really challenging and tough in a world where many of us grow up with kind of an internal gossip or something chattering at us that is not lifting us up to feel good. It can almost seem unbelievable to believe that we have the ability to change that inner narrative so we can be kinder and more loving towards ourselves. And so today I wanted to offer a strategy and a bit of an exercise that anyone can use. And whether you're 3 or 13 or 63, there's always a chance to learn new things. This is what we know about neuroplasticity. But also we can learn to be kinder to ourselves at any point in a lifetime. And right now, more than ever, I think self-love and kindness is a practice that we need to be cultivating, even if it's for just 3 minutes a day. Know that that will start to tip you into a better direction. I think the average person has 90,000 thoughts that race through a mind in a day, 90,000. So imagine if you could make 500 of them positive. Lots of them are neutral thoughts. Many of them are the same things over and over again. So this is a tweaking. And so I thought it would be great to start with a bit of a visual. And so some of the things that we say to ourselves, we would never say to anyone else, even our best friend. And most definitely we wouldn't say them to that little person part of us. And so I'm going to introduce a way that we can use self-compassion to not only take care of ourselves, but if we can use our imagination to imagine we are taking care of that little kid part of us, and what we would say to that little kid part that we would never ever say to our grown-up self. That is a great way to start a self-compassion practice. And so I have a little buddy with me today that's gonna, I'm gonna do a little demo with you so you see how it works. So this is the imaginary person within you. So we all kind of have like a little kid baby self, right? So imagine this is you. And you may have a thought that goes through your head. Something like, quarantine. It's made my stomach all fat. All I do is eat, eat, eat. I'm the only person that hasn't lost weight through quarantine. We would never say that. If we heard our best friend say that, we would go, stop! You don't want to put yourself down like that. Or maybe you've had a thought like, everyone's making cinnamon buns and cleaning their drawers out and building tree houses, and all I've done is sit around and watch Netflix. I haven't even read a book through quarantine. I'm a loser. Oh, we would never let our best friends say that. We would stop them and build them up and maybe go, whoa, be kind to yourself. Lots of people are struggling right now. Or maybe you've had a thought like this. I'm so bored. I thought I had real friends, but I guess I don't. No one has even tried to FaceTime me through quarantine. I am a loser, and there's all this evidence that shows that I am. I don't even have one good friend. What's the point? So, if you imagine yourself saying it to that little kid part of you, how could you lift that person up and be kind to them? And it might even be as simple as taking a deep breath in and noticing, I'm doing that put down stuff again, and saying, sounds like you're really beating yourself up right now. Sounds like you're pretty sad. Or sounds like you're really scared right now, or you're feeling really lonely. And like we would do to any little kid that was feeling upset, we'd probably say, hey, do you want a little cuddle? And we'd bring them close to our heart probably and give them like a little rock. And we might just say nice words to them. You're gonna get through this. You're not the only one that feels this way. This is a really tough time right now for lots of us. And we can take some deep breaths in and we can be kind to ourselves in the moment. Because in anything that we go through in life, we can always approach it with love, and we can always approach it with kindness. Because I know that you are good enough exactly how you are. And no one has ever been through a pandemic before like this in our lifetime. And whatever you're doing to cope makes sense. Be patient with yourself. That's kind of how it works. I am going to take baby, and baby's going to have a little nap, I think. So here we go, baby. Baby can hang out there. And I wanted, for those of you that are more of a research-based learner, not everyone learns well with puppets and role play. So I wanted to read to you a little bit of research from Kristin Neff, who is, she studies self-compassion and does a lot of work with the Greater Good Science Center. I think it's run out of Berkeley, California. And this is what she might say. Difficult situations become even harder when we beat ourselves up over them, interpreting them as a sign that we're less capable and less worthy than other people. In fact, we often judge ourselves more harshly than we judge others, especially when we make a mistake or we feel stressed out. That makes us feel isolated, unhappy, and even more stressed. It may even make us try, it may even make us try to feel better about ourselves by putting someone else down. I don't know why that word was so hard to read, but it was. Rather than self-criticism, a healthier response is to treat yourself with compassion and understanding. According to psychologist Kristin Neff, this self-compassion has 3 main components. One of them is mindfulness. And mindfulness is simply noticing what's going on for you emotionally in the moment, noticing it without judgment. Check. That's the first part of it. The second part is common humanity. We know that all people in life have struggle, and so if we can remind ourselves that we're not alone with the feeling of overwhelm or the feeling of anxiety or stress or pain, that can be incredibly like a very loving act to us in the moment as well. And the third part that goes along with self-compassion that Kristin would write about is that you need to use some self-kindness. And so self-kindness might, as I'm saying it, I'm putting my hand on my heart, might even start with a gesture of putting your hand on your heart and feeling heat from your hand. Usually it's taking a deep breath in and slowly out. It might even be a couple of those. Just honoring where you are in the moment. And self-kindness really is being friendly and kind to yourself in the moment. It can be a statement that sounds like, may I accept myself as I am. May I forgive myself. May I be patient with myself in this moment. And the more we get into the practice of cultivating self-compassion, the happier we are. And when we feel happier, we act more kindly towards others, not only just ourselves, which has that ripple effect. And so beautiful exercise, I think. And so my challenge and invitation for people today is to practice a little bit of self-compassion. And this is a homework directive that was taught to me by Adele LaFrance, a wonderful therapist and amazing instructor if you ever get a chance to study with her. And this is a homework directive she would give around self-compassion as a way to soothe the self and a way to self-regulate. And here's how it goes. So when an emotion comes up for you, such as anxiety or that internal put down, picture that child self inside you, right? That child self inside you. And you want to put your hands over your heart and breathe in a sense of love and acceptance. And you're going to do 3 deep breaths. 1 in and slowly out through the mouth. 2 more. Thinking about breathing in love and acceptance. And you want to tend to that inner child within you with loving words and whatever gestures would make him or her, them feel better. And tend to them. You might rock, you might give them a little lullaby, or just say, I love you, you're going to be okay, you're going to get through this. And tend to them as long as you can. And then move on with your day. I am super pumped to see you guys here tomorrow morning. I'm going to put a lid on self-compassion for now. Please give me your feedback if you wish. All these Facebook Lives, I am creating them the night before, like an idea pops into my head when I'm out jogging. So if you have something you want to learn a little bit more about, or you think it's something that's really helped you out and you think other people might want to learn about it, please give me some feedback and send me an email. I love to collaborate and work together on projects. So I know for sure I'm a more creative person when I get to interact with other people. It helps stretch my brain. And so please give me some feedback. I would appreciate it. Until tomorrow, scoop up that little kid part of you and take care of him or her, them through the day. And this can be an exercise that you keep with you, share it with people, and use it day after day after day and long into the future. Once you learn how to love yourself, it's you kind of let people know how you deserve to be treated. Until tomorrow, may you breathe and be well.